Are you considering a move to Petaluma, but you're not sure if you know enough about the area to pull the trigger and actually buy a house here? Well, if that's the case, then this video is for you, because today I'm going to take you on a little map tour and give you a deep dive into Petaluma, the surrounding areas, and all of the different neighborhoods and places you might want to land if you do choose to move here. And hopefully it will give you some information that will be useful in your home search. So I'm Stephanie Johnson. I'm a 20-year real estate agent, and I made the move from San Francisco to Sonoma County in 2021, and I have not looked back. I absolutely love living here, and now I help people just like you make the move from wherever you're coming from, whether it be the Bay Area or Los Angeles or even out of state, to our beautiful Sonoma County in California. So welcome, and let's get started. So first off, let's take a look at where Petaluma sits in relationship to other areas of Sonoma County and the Bay Area. So if you're not familiar, San Francisco is here, and if you drive about 40 minutes north to Petaluma without traffic, this is where Petaluma is. It's the southernmost town in Sonoma County, so it's really easily accessed, you know, for people who are considering a move from the Bay Area, which I meet lots of you who are thinking about changing your life and coming to Sonoma County. I meet you at open houses, and I meet you all over the city when I'm there, when I talk about having made this move. So I know you're out there, and Petaluma tends to be the kind of first place people think about if they're really trying to get out of the hustle and bustle. Petaluma seems to be, you know, the closest town that also feels like it has some country vibes. So that's a 40-minute drive. And then if you look here kind of at the whole of Sonoma County, we can take a look. You know, it's really southern. Sonoma County starts, you know, north of Dillon Beach, kind of comes across, includes Petaluma, comes down to the water, comes up, well, maybe actually on the left side of 128 and 29, which is Napa County. Bypasses Healdsburg, not quite. Does come up and include Cloverdale, comes out to the water, includes Sea Ranch, and then down. So this is basically, it's a pretty good job actually, basically the shape of Sonoma County. And so you'll see it's really, Petaluma is really the first stop in the county as you travel up 101. So if I back out and I show you just a little closer, kind of what's in close proximity here, I'm going to position this so we can see several things. So first off, nearby, other than Petaluma, the city, you have the ocean. So Dillon Beach is about a 25 minute drive. If you want to go this direction out to Bodega Bay, that's probably more like 30 minutes approximately. Dillon Beach is a great beach for dogs. I take my dog there all the time. They let the dogs go off leash. They love it. And it's really beautiful. Great for surfing. Great for a picnic day, big beach, so great for an exercise walk along the water. It's gorgeous, and I'm there a lot, so highly recommend it. Bodega Bay, as you travel north along the coast, you know, you've got all kinds of places to have oysters and seafood. Bodega Bay's got also really beautiful beaches as well. So this is a nice, easy day trip, half hour tops from Petaluma. And you know, go to the beach early on the weekends, obviously. Insider tip. If you want to go to the east, you can head over this way to Sonoma. And Sonoma is, you know, the Sonoma Valley, which is, you know, basically all of this area. Sorry, my mouse is in the way. The Sonoma Valley wine tasting region is beautiful. It's a lot warmer over there in the summer. So if you really want some real heat, head east into Sonoma or even Napa County. But that's about a 25 minute drive over into the sort of Sonoma Square area. And then of course you're gonna spend a little more time if you're traveling north to visit wineries. If you go north to Santa Rosa is like the biggest sort of city, urban area in Sonoma County. It has a lot of services, including an airport, which is in this region. The Santa Rosa airport is very convenient. They have flights from Santa Rosa direct to places like Los Angeles, Seattle. I flew to Burbank with my son to go to Disneyland, which was the most stress-free trip to Disneyland we've had. We've been a few times. 45-minute flight, 20-minute Uber. We were in Disney. I did rent a car, had a lovely time. So insider, a little tip for you there. And then of course the town of Sebastopol, which is adorable. I'll do another video on the town of Sebastopol too in the future. But this place is great. Super farm to table vibes in Sebastopol. The Barlow is a nice destination if you want to go have a bite to eat or just do some cheese tasting, some wine tasting. The town of Sebastopol is really cute. Lots of great places to eat there as well. So more to come on Sebastopol. But basically you're really central here in Petaluma, and you also have really easy access to the Bay Area. So it's actually a prime location if you like to tour around and enjoy yourself, and also maybe if you have a job in the Bay Area. And then I'm going to dive in more closely into the town of Petaluma. So once we get here in town, you'll see the hallmark of Petaluma, which I think it makes it kind of special, is that the Petaluma River runs right through it. And that offers a lot of opportunity for recreation. I mean, they actually have, if you go, let's see, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Downtown here, right about here, there's a place called the Float House, and they will rent paddle boards and kayaks. You can paddleboard and kayak all up and down this river. So, walking distance from downtown, you can kind of have a sort of outdoor experience, which is very cool. There's also some really cool places to eat along the water, which is lovely. So Brewster's Beer Garden is a lot of fun. It's right on the water. They have a huge outdoor beer garden vibe. They do serve food, so kids are welcome. It's very family friendly. And at Christmas time, they do a gorgeous job of decorating. They have Santa come. I mean, it's very special and a fun place to take the kids if that's your thing. And then of course, Taps on the River. So Taps on the River is, I can draw these for you so you can know where they are. So Brewster's is here, obviously. Taps on the River is here. You can walk from Water Street over this footbridge, Taps on the Water. It's more of a beer garden vibe. There's also a restaurant here called Luma, which it has a more high-end cocktail vibe and sort of some lovely California cuisine going on. And then obviously other places to eat. Since I'm a culinary person, I really enjoy eating out. Wild Goat Bistro is one of my favorite restaurants in Petaluma, also right downtown. I'm gluten-free, so they have a ton of gluten-free options and the best gluten-free bread that I've ever had. They serve at Wild Goat Bistro, so check that out. Other places that I like, might as well, let's see. I think Bijou is here on Washington. It's on the corner of Washington and Kentucky. This is a great restaurant. Amazing cocktails, lovely French food, wonderful waiters. Love that place. Another cool place that I like is Sake 107. This Japanese food place, a friend took me there for my birthday and it was incredible. Highly recommend it. And then lastly, I'm in Petaluma a lot for lunchtime, and so I go to Lunchette, which is here on the corner of 4th and B Street. It's great. There's a really cool record store right here on the corner. Lunchette is amazing. They have grain bowls and super healthy things, and they have a lemon pudding that is to die for. Gorgeous. And then of course, Avid Coffee is a place that's sort of a central location. You see lots of people working on laptops in there. That's a fun vibe and obviously great coffee. So all of those are wonderful recommendations while we're on the map here for Petaluma. So let's talk real estate in the west side. So the west side, I'm gonna line it up here. The sort of official kind of west side is west of the river. So here's the river, of course. So west of the river, there's a big break here at I Street because it's actually a little bit more complicated than just I Street. So, but about the school district. So for the elementary school, there is a very specific line that goes kind of around this area, which separates the McNear School District, which McNear School is, I think, here, from the Grant School District. Both are good schools. McNear is sort of prized. They won this cool award called the Green Achiever Award, which sort of, I think only 5 schools in the state receive that award. So pretty special. It kind of commends them for their environmental literacy, environmental education, health education. So, pretty sweet school. Petaluma schools in general are very good. And I might do a deep dive on schools at some point. But for now, we'll just say Petaluma, if you're looking for schools, should be high on your list if you're coming to Sonoma County. So west side, of course, west side can include more. These areas are sort of the western country vibe, but in town, this is sort of the heart of the west side. There is another part of the west side to the north, which I'll show you in a moment. But this area, there are a few schools that I should point out. So McNear is the elementary school. Petaluma Junior High School is here. And then it's not noted here because of the zoom in on the map, but on Fair Street is Petaluma High. And at Petaluma High, they have a program where they're building stuff for NASA's Hunch program. So that engineering program there, really good school. So you wanna, pay attention when you're looking in Petaluma to the school districts if you're looking for a public school, because of course that will matter. And I can give you resources if you're looking for a school in Petaluma and you want to be sure that the property that you're thinking about buying is in a particular school district. I can help you sort through those pieces of information. Let's also talk about a couple of cool places to hang out in nature. So there's a couple places I'll point out that are very close to downtown Petaluma. The first is Helen Putnam Park, which is here. I talked about this in another video, but this is like 6 acres of gorgeous hiking country. I mean, it has hills and there's views. Out on this bluff here, there are views of downtown Petaluma. Very beautiful. You look back this direction, you can see the mountains and the hillsides of coastal Sonoma. This is a very picturesque park. They do allow dogs on leash. You can also horseback ride there. You can also ride bikes there. Very special and super close. Look how close it is from downtown. So that's, if you want access to nature, you got it in Petaluma, right? That's one of many places. The second place I'll show you on this side of town is Schollenberger Park, which is a wetlands area. And if you're a bird watcher, you wanna hang out here. There's also right here, I think about this area, there's a dog park here that's off leash. It's not fenced though, so your dog can't run away. You have to have control over your dog, or you might be there for a while trying to get him in the car. But yeah, so this area is the dog park. I'm gonna put a little D there. And then Schollenberger Park is beautiful. This wetland area is so beautiful, especially at sunset. I was there last week at sunset. It was gorgeous. You can walk the dog too here if you have one on a leash in this park, because the wetlands, of course, they protect the birds. But the entrance to it, you're gonna come down 116 in the car and you're gonna drive down this road. It's weird because you don't realize you're going to this beautiful wetlands because your kind of entry point is down a road in an office park, which feels odd. But then you enter in and it's beautiful. So that also really nice. And of course, there are paths along different aspects of the river. There are paths that you can walk along the river too on this side. So all of those are gorgeous areas. There are more, but those are the ones I'm going to show you because they're close to town. Okay, let's back out. So now also on the west side. So west side also includes, I want to show you in detail, so we'll do it in pieces. But the west side also includes this area from Bodega, I guess, on this side of town, down Gosage, sort of jumps around here. This area is called Oakhill Brewster. And this is the historic neighborhood in town. I mean, there are also historic homes in the other part of the west side of Petaluma, but this area was developed first. It is characterized by lots of Victorian era homes, some newer homes, but mostly the homes here are vintage. Some are really spectacular Queen Anne's, with beautiful porches. I mean, there's some real charm in this part of town as well. Also in this part of town, if you're thinking about schools, again, St. Vincent de Paul, not a public school. This is a prep school, private, very well-regarded school right here in the center of this neighborhood. And then I'll have to back out and show you, but there's another favorite restaurant is Brigitte Bistro, which is also French, which I'm not usually a French food person, but this one it's good. And the waiters are very sweet. They're kind of flirty. It feels very European, and the food is amazing. Amazing food there. Highly recommend it. They also have a piano. I've never seen anyone play it, but I'm wondering if maybe they have music there sometimes too. So yeah, so this area, and now let's talk real estate prices, because I know that's why you're here. You're trying to learn where you want to land and where you can afford to land, right? So west side, okay, so let's go back, let's recap. West side is basically the river. That's kind of, it's kind of like, I don't know, basically, I think west side also includes this, so we'll do that. Basically that area. Okay, this area, median price in this area is a lot higher than the county median price. Here, median price is about $1.1 million. $1.1 million, what does that buy you for a median price? Does that mean anything to you? Well, obviously there are a lot of factors that go into determining the price of a home, but if I were to give you a generic characterization of what $1.1 million would buy you in Petaluma, it would be just shy of 2,000 square feet, decently renovated, but not off the hook renovated, not, slammed, a 10 out of 10 renovation. but move-in ready, 3-2, and nice location here and a decent sized lot, but not a big sprawling lot. As you add features, say really expensive, gorgeous kitchen, or just a high-end renovation across the board, or maybe a pool or some acreage, a big lot in this neighborhood, you're gonna get up over 1.5, 1.6 pretty quickly. So it's expensive to live here. And so you get what you pay for because you're getting top-notch location. Again, as we've talked about, it is the closest town in Sonoma County to the city, and proximity to the Bay Area does drive prices. As you drive south on 101, prices start to go up. And as you get closer to that bridge, they get more expensive, and then the city obviously is very expensive. So that's kind of what you can do in Petaluma on the west side. Now, of course, I'll talk another couple videos about country property, but that's sort of a in-town price. As you get into country property, of course, there are lots of factors. Is there an ADU or an outbuilding? Is there more acreage? Is there a barn? The specifics of country property and comping those is more of an art than science. So we can get into that. If you get serious about your search, I'm happy to get into all those details with you. So now let's look at, now you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I can't afford to live in Petaluma after all this. I invested all this time in this video and now I can't afford it. Okay, well, stay with me because there are more affordable areas in Petaluma. And first off, let's look at Midtown, which is this area here. Midtown is characterized, I guess it's to the east of the river and to the west of 101. And there is housing in here. You can see there's neighborhoods, there's a neighborhood vibe, but there's also some serious amenities here. So we've got this big shopping area, which has a Target and a Sprouts. There's a Whole Foods right here. I'm gonna write a WF for you. So that's where the Whole Foods is. Shout out to Fit and Furry Pet Resort, where I take my dog when I go out of town. Luna, my love, goes there whenever I leave, and she's happy to see me at the end, but she definitely likes being there. So it's a good spot to know about if you're a pet owner. They take cats as well. And then of course there's a lot of fast food restaurants and other things that you'd expect in an area that's like a hub where there's an on-ramp and there's a train station. This is the downtown Petaluma train station for the SMART train. So there's a lot of transportation happening here. So of course you're gonna get a lot of activity. The other thing you need to know if you're considering a house kind of, I think, anywhere in this neighborhood, is right here is the Petaluma Speedway. And it's a racetrack. When they're racing, you will hear it. You will hear it. I don't know, maybe this perimeter might be a little big. I'm not sure. I don't want to scare you though, because of course it's seasonal. I mean, it happens from I think May to October. Their schedule has maybe a few nights a month, so it's not an ever-present, constant, daily source of strain. But it is there, and you need to know about it if you're going to consider living close to this Midtown area. So yeah, the SMART train stop is here. As we look in the north, on the east side, toward the north, there's another stop that makes that neighborhood really convenient. So I'll show you that next. As part of the east side neighborhood, we should talk about Maker's Alley. So this is the border for Maker's Alley, basically. It goes further north, but I don't have enough map, so we're just gonna include that. Maker's Alley is industrial, and also there's some housing in here for sure. I know I'm gonna get comments if I talk about it as not having housing, but so there, of course there is, but it's also a lot of office park and industrial. And Maker's Alley is the name because there are a lot of makers here. For instance, Lagunitas Brewery, they have their headquarters here, as do other breweries. Enphase Technology, which is a big solar company that's based in Petaluma, also has their headquarters in Maker's Alley. So, good to know. There's a lot of industry, a lot of economic activity happening in this area too, which is, always good for prices and home values because you want a diverse economy, right? When you're looking for a place to invest your hard-earned money. I'm gonna show you another neighborhood, which is the College Heights area, which is basically here. College Heights is called that because the Santa Rosa JC has a Petaluma campus that's in this neighborhood. There's also Sonoma Mountain Elementary, which is here. I'm gonna continue to tell you about schools. So that's a really nice, beautiful elementary school. And basically what you're gonna find in this neighborhood are more suburban feel for sure. These homes are newer than on the west side. They were built maybe mid-century forward. And yeah, I mean, I think it's another option if you want to be in Petaluma, but you want a little maybe less density, but you don't want to be in the country. The east side can be a little quieter, a little more sort of suburban feeling. And that's what's going on over here. The price is over here. So once you cross 101, prices go down. And this part of town is probably more like in the $900,000 in terms of median price. So it's a lot closer to the county median price, which is hovering around $800,000. It was around $850 in the middle of the year in the summer. So it's dropped. Actually, prices have dropped during the fall. So it's good for you to know that. And then in addition to College Heights, there's also this neighborhood, which is called Adobe. Also kind of similar feel, developments that have been done since mid-century forward, a lot of newer homes over here compared to the west side. Again, prices over here in these two neighborhoods are fairly comparable. But that said, median price in this part of town is much more affordable. So you can get, and you can get good schools. You've got Sonoma County Elementary is one school. There's also Casa Grande High School, which is the public option on the east side. And it is a very well-regarded public school. Big school, great ratings, great athletics program. I used to swim against Casa Grande High School when I was in high school, so and they were good then. I'm guessing they're probably still good now. So the reason that this neighborhood is called Adobe is because of this state park, which is the Petaluma Adobe State Park, and it was originally the home, the rancho of General Mariano Vallejo. And so you can go there now. It's a museum. I went there with my son's fifth grade class. It was really a fun day trip. So just to know that's there, and it's an exciting part of early California history. So some other things to know about the east side in terms of access to the center of Petaluma. First off is the Lynch Creek Trail, which runs through Lucchese Park here. And you can walk along this trail, the Lynch Creek Trail. You can take it all the way through the park, kind of keeps going over to the river. You can bring it all the way down here and cross right into downtown. You can get, Lynch Creek Trail will take you right to Water Street. It takes you right to the bridge, the footbridge, and right into Water Street downtown. So that's cool. If you live on the east side and you want a pretty walk into downtown, for brunch or something, easy access from that area. The other thing I'll show you in terms of access to downtown is up here is the Petaluma North Smart Train stop, which if you live in this area, and you're thinking, gosh, I'd love to live in that more affordable area and have a bigger house for the money, but I feel kind of far away from everything. This is really convenient because you can hop on this train and you can be in downtown Petaluma in minutes. And so people who live out here really love it because they're far away from everything. Even if you live in this area, you've got views of the hillsides. It feels very, very remote in some parts of this area, but you can be in town very quickly, go out to dinner, go shopping, whatever, spend the day in downtown Petaluma and be home in minutes, and it's just a few bucks for a ticket. So very cool. A little thing to know about living in this kind of northeastern part of Petaluma. So, I hope that this map tour has been helpful to you. There are a lot of really wonderful things about living in Petaluma. As you can see, it's super central to all of the beautiful things that this part of the state offer. Everything from the Bay Area and access to the city, the East Bay, to the ocean, to the Sonoma Valley and the Napa Valley. And so I think Petaluma is perfectly situated for somebody who wants to land in Northern California and have really, really robust set of options when it comes to, just investigating and having fun on your weekends. And also, if you have a commute, Petaluma is probably the best town in Sonoma County to live in if you've got to be in the Bay Area on the regular. So I hope this was helpful. As always, if you have questions about Petaluma or any other town in Sonoma County and you're looking for advice, for real estate advice, I'm here to help you. I will be dropping videos every week about towns all over Sonoma County. So if you're really interested and about to do a deep dive for yourself, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell. You'll get notified whenever we drop a video. And anyway, I'd love to hear from you and learn more about your search if that's where you are in this process. I'm Stephanie Johnson. It's been my pleasure to help you today. Until next time, bye.